everyone, welcome back to Life of Pain. Hey, today we're going to do something different again. I am going to do a part 2 to my dry nose video, and I wasn't expecting to do a part 2, but something happened in the last month and I wanted to do another video, just a follow-up video to update you on what's going on. Now, if you did not see my first video, I'll put the link up on the corner and down on the description box so you can go take a look and see what cream really helped relieve my dry nose. And I'm doing today's video without my glasses because of the glare from the natural light outside or from the other light. I don't have a great setup for doing this type of video, so just gotta do what I can. So hopefully I don't look so different. So if you watch my video, you know that I have really dry nose and I have to use cream humidifier in order to keep my nose moist, otherwise I do get bloody nose. And I have had bloody nose in the past. Some are worse than others. The first time I had a really bad bloody nose was back in 2000, and I went to see my doctor and he cauterized it with chemical cauterization, which is pretty much silver nitrate. They put it on the wound and burn it. And let me tell you, it hurt, okay? It really hurt. I did not enjoy that at all. However, the next day it started bleeding again. So I went to the doctor again and he actually packed my nose. What that is they actually put a kind of like a log of cotton up your nose and leave it there for a couple of days. And you have to take antibiotics for that so that there is no other infection that comes with it. And then I went back to the doctor's office and he removed the cotton pack from my nose. That did help, and I didn't have any more bad bloody nose for years. However, since I moved out to Southeast Asia in Thailand, I have experienced a few bad bloody nose. The first time I went to the ENT doctor here and I had to ask them to pack it again, and they packed it with a dissolvable foam, and it pretty much self-dissolved within a couple of days, and I also had to take antibiotics for that, and that again, that helped. However, a few months later it started to have heavy bleeding again, and I thought, I can't live like this. I can't just keep going back to the doctor to have it packed. I mean, I asked the doctor, can I have some of these packing foam so that I can do it myself, but they said they would not sell it to individuals. You have to have the doctors do it. So I searched online and found some on Amazon, and this is a Nosebleed Plug, and it's a foam. It is hard, and it's got chemical coated on it to actually clot the wound so that the bleeding will stop a lot faster. And as it absorbs the blood, it expands, and so it puts pressure on the wound again to help stop it. And this has been a lifesaver for me, and this is what I've been using off and on as I experience these heavy bloody nose bleeding. And when I say heavy bloody nose, I don't mean just your little bloody nose. Now, for those of you who can't stand the sight of blood, look away for just a few minutes here. This is what I mean. Look at my bloody nose. I mean, it's dripping, right? And when I can't stop it, this is what my sink looks like. Yeah, it's covered in tissue and blood. And so I really needed a different solution so that I can stop the bleeding quickly without, bleeding to death. Anyway, okay, you can look back now. With this thing, I will take it apart. I will take it out of the packaging and then slowly insert it up my nose. And you want to do it slowly because of the chemical on there. If you do it too fast, you'll scratch your soft tissue inside. You don't want to do that. You don't want to cause any more problem. But slowly insert it up there. But leave a little bit still sticking out of your nose. And then that way you have something to grab onto when you're ready to remove it. So if you look at it, as the blood is absorbed into the sponge, it expands slowly out. And this has been a lifesaver for me a couple of times in a couple of public places where I needed to actually stop my bloody nose relatively quick. So if you are interested in these, I'll have a link below where you can find it on Amazon. And like I said, it's been a lifesaver for me for those times when I really needed it. I wish I've discovered this a long time ago, but hey, you know what? It's helped me within the last couple of years, so I'm thankful for that. You should leave it in for at least an hour. I've taken it out sooner, but then I would re-bleed again, so I just left it longer to actually just give some added pressure onto that wound. And again, for those of you who can't stand the sight of blood, look away for just a little bit. To take it out, you have to be very, very gentle and slow, okay? Just because if you pull it out too fast, you may reopen the wound and you'll have bloody nose again, or you may cause other damages to your soft tissue. So this is how I do it. I'm not going to fast forward any of this. I'm just going to go at the rate that it's recorded at, and so that you can see how slow I do this, okay? I'll be honest, it is uncomfortable and a little bit painful, but you have to do what you got to do, right? So just slowly wiggle it back and forth, up and down, and slowly pull on it, and take as long as you need to slowly pull it out. And once you get it out and it's like, oh, thank goodness, you feel this pressure relief, and obviously hopefully your bloody nose would have stopped. Almost every single time that I use these plugs, they have helped stop my bad bloody nose. So the reason for part 2 of this video is that the nosebleed plugs, okay? So those of you who have bad bloody nose and you want something to stop it, that's a lifesaver. And the number 2 reasons for making a part 2 video, I had electrocauterization done. And here's why I did it. I mentioned I was in the Midwest in America for a few months. The night before I was gonna get on a 20-hour flight back to Bangkok, Thailand, I had the worst bloody nose. Again, gushing bloody nose. I used one of Nosebleed Plug and it stopped it. And so the next day I boarded my flight, and after about 10 hours on the flight, I started getting a little bit of a bloody nose, not the heavy one. So after a 14-hour flight, we landed in Shanghai, China. And in the airport, I was in the bathroom stall, and boom, bad bloody nose, right? Worst timing, right? I have to board a flight in 20 minutes. So I put one of the Nosebleed Plug in and got on my flight. After about an hour, when the seatbelt light just turned off, I went and took out my plug, and my nosebleed has stopped. And for the rest of the flight, it was a 4-hour flight to Bangkok from Shanghai. I just kept a surgical mask on, and I'm glad I did, because I was so exhausted from that travel. You know, it's never comfortable to try and sleep in an airplane, especially for a 14-hour flight. Anyhow, I was so exhausted. I put my surgical mask on, and I fell asleep quite a few hours along the way. So that made that 4-hour journey so much faster. And so, if you've been keeping track, 2 days, 2 bad bloody nose, right? Next day, my hotel in Bangkok, guess what? Yes, bad bloody nose. And usually I have a tissue with me, and so I just block it and get over to my purse, grab out my nose plug, and get over to the sink and then put my plug in. That same evening, second bloody nose. So we're talking 3 days, 4 bad bloody nose, okay? So I'm just like, what is going on, right? I never had any bloody nose like this before. What is going on? I just don't know what to do. I don't want to have to keep plugging up my nose and not have a real solution. I was in Bangkok for a few days because the following day I had to go see my rheumatologist for my rheumatoid arthritis. Maybe that's another video. But I decided to call the ENT doctor at this international hospital to go see it. They didn't have any appointment that evening, so I made an appointment for the following afternoon. So the next day I went to my rheumatology appointment, and guess what? Sitting in the waiting room, yep, you got it, gushing bloody nose, right? So 5 bloody nose, right? 5 bloody nose in 5 days. I just knew that I need to do something drastic. I just can't live my life this way because I never know when the next episode is going to be, and it's going to be the most inconvenient time, right? Where like maybe you're on the bus or in a taxi or somewhere where you just can't get to a bathroom fast enough, right? So the afternoon when I did go see the ENT doctor, because I did have a bloody nose the morning, my nose was still kind of crusted with some blood, and she said, I'm going to clean it. She dipped some cotton into some cleaning solution, went in. Guess what? Yep, bloody nose. So I had to put pressure on it for 10 minutes and it stopped. And then she was starting to numb my nose to do a chemical cauterization. It's like, I don't want a chemical cauterization because I had that done before, and the next day it started bleeding again. So I told her, it's like, I've been researching online and I want to do this electrocauterization. She said, oh, if you want to do that, then we should just go ahead and start prepping you for that. I said, yes, let's do that. The reason I wanted to do that was I was researching and I found out that the chemical cauterization, you may have to do 3, 4, 5 times before it actually stops the bleeding, whereas the electrocauterization, it actually works the first time around. I'm not in the medical field, so I won't be able to give you the specifics and answer any of your questions specific to it, but I would advise you to go talk to an ENT specialist, which is an ear, nose, and throat specialist, and they'll be able to give you better information as well. I'll put a link to a few article and video that helped me make my decision down below, so you can take a look at it and see what it entails. So a little bit of detail on the process, okay? The doctor started to numb my nose, but in order to actually do the electrocauterization, she would have to put a local anesthetic. And guess what? Yep, long needle inside of my nose. Yes, that hurt, okay? It really, really hurt. She had to poke me 3 times inside to get the anesthetic in. And, you know, I started to feel the numb, and obviously my gum started to numb a little bit. Because she did use some numbing lotion earlier, I can feel the back of my throat started to numb a little bit. So just be calm, okay? I think I might have been a little bit anxious too, and so I just feel like, oh, I can't breathe. But it's just a numbing solution. You're fine. All right? So, needle in your nose, okay? That is hard to take, but I was at that point. And then, yes, the process started. Now they have to ground you, and so for me, they put some cream on my elbow and set my elbow on the armrest of the chair to ground me. With electrocauterization, they actually burn your blood vessel, seal it so that it doesn't come through there anymore. And I'll be honest, it hurt. It really hurt a lot. And you can smell it, you can taste it, okay? The smoke, the smell of burning flesh, obviously. So if you are scared of needle and you're scared of all that sound and smell, this may not be a procedure for you. And this is the first time for me too, but I know that I needed to do something drastic because I did not want to have to put up with all this bloody nose, right? So yeah, during the whole process, which is about 5 minutes, it really did hurt a lot, but afterwards I didn't feel any more pain. The doctor did put dissolvable packing on it, and this packing wasn't like it stuffed up my nose, it was just on the wound itself, so I could still breathe, but it's more kind of like bandages on the wound inside of the nostril, and it actually self-dissolved after a few days. So what the doctor told me is take decongestion so that you can keep your system dry, and that way heals the wound a lot faster. She also gave me a cream to put it inside the nostril to help keep it moist and heal faster as well. You don't put it on the wound itself, obviously it's too difficult to see that. You don't want to play with that wound and cause it to, again, bleed. So it's been over 2 weeks, and so far, no bad bloody nose. But I'm hoping that this is the end of my bad bloody nose, because I did not want to have to deal with that and just live in fear of when is it going to happen, and when will it happen at the worst time. So I'm really thankful, and I'm glad that I made that decision. I know it was painful, but I think in the long run, it's probably the best decision for me. Okay, so I'm rambling on. But I hope that this has helped some of you who's dealing with very bad bloody nose as well. I hope that the Nosebleed Plug would help you. And if you're just sick and tired of dealing with that, maybe the electrocauterization will help you as well. If anything else comes up, I'll probably maybe do another video to update you. Otherwise, I'm hoping and praying that this will be the end of my bad bloody nose. I know that I will probably get, the lighter dry nostril bleeding every once in a while, and that's okay. And so I'm trying to keep my nose moist, but I hope that I will not have any of that bad gushing bloody nose anymore. All right, so until next time, I'll see you later. I hope you like my videos. Please hit that thumbs up button if you like my videos. And if you want to see more of my videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not done so. You don't want to miss any of my other videos, so make sure you hit that notification bell. And be sure to come back to watch more videos, okay? So until next time, have a wonderful day.